this is a super random video, I'll admit, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to show off how I got second in this tournament right here with Iron Treads, and as you can see, it is in fact Regulation E. I didn't really have a plan for what I was going to do with it since it's Regulation F now, but I figured on Twitter, I call myself the Iron Treads Truther, and I got when Lab Mouse, or is it Mouse Lab? It's one of those two things. When they released their Strongest Soldier sheet, I got second for Iron Treads, not first somehow. Really weird that someone else decided to play him, because like even in this tournament, like where is Iron Treads? I was somehow the only Reggie Drago user. Okay, Reggie Drago was insane, and Iron Treads somehow had one other person using him, which is that's sick. I just don't realize there's a Noivern too. That is awesome. Like this, it was a really fun tournament. When was it? It was yeah, November 16th. It was a while ago, but I just wanted to do a quick little team breakdown, and it's gonna be this whole thing's just gonna be a big mess. But yeah, here's the Farigiraf that I run physically bulky, and it was thanks to my good friend Isaac that I even started using it, and ever since then it's always been on my team. I run him super bulky, not a lot of special attack whatsoever, but the only reason why I do it is I'm just trying to have him live, because that anti priority is so huge. I don't like dealing with fake out. Nobody does. And Fergaraf just says, I don't like fake out at all, so I won't even be dealing with it. And it's Terra Fairy for like knockoffs and different dark moves trying to get it. It works out pretty well, and yeah, pretty nice. Tornadus is Tornadus. I'm running a crackhead set on it. Do not run him this way. I am simply crazy. And because I figure it's going to live a fake out anyway, why make it bulky? Well, you make it bulky so that certain things just don't kill it right away. Okay, this thing gets killed by everything right away. That's completely my fault. And you could argue that that's okay because, like, it's just a Tornadus. He's just there to set up speed and go. I'd be true, but now you're down a Pokemon because you thought that was okay, right? It's not okay. And plus, he's Terra Ghost. I could have changed this at this point. Terra Ghost is not good for a Tornadus if you are already Covert Cloak. The whole point of that is to avoid being faked out. Honestly, for him now, I'd probably run. I wouldn't run Terra Water because that still shares a weakness as flying. I might go something random like Terra Steel, just because it resists ice, resists rock, neutral to electric, which electric in that time in the format was not very popular. Now we have Raging Bolt, and all they had back then was Iron Hands. But yeah, he was pretty cool. Do not run him this way. Okay, I might have got second with this strangest set, but it was not because of it. Well, the speed control is nice, but it was really a Farigiraf type of day. Um, here's my goat, Reggie Drago. I brought him to the Peoria Regional Championship. I'm pretty sure I'm the only person that brought him to that entire regional. Is this Eevee spread really weird? Yes. Do I care? Also, yes. I'm very self-conscious about it now. And on newer sets for him, I have a much more making sense of Eevee spread than whatever I'm forcing you to look at here. But Dragon Energy is insane because he basically gets free choice specs or choice band, whichever. Just run him special. Just for Dragon Energy, run him special. Yeah, maybe in singles you'd run him some way, in some other way. Always run him special in doubles. This is VGC we're talking about. Dragon's Maw is a pretty solid ability. It has 1.5 Dragon type attack, so it's kind of like a built-in specs without the being locked into something. And Regieleki used to have a 1.5 boost to his attacks, but the issue that he ran into is he was too good back in the Sword and Shield. So they nerfed him down to life orb damage at 1.3. But yeah, this is 1.5 damage booster. And then Dragon Energy is stab, so it's another 1.5. And then I just run Dragon Fang for an additional 1.2. He has a 2.2 damage multiplier on the dragon version of Water Spout. Okay, he kills because he chooses to. He doesn't he spares people when he feels bad. He just kills stuff. But the issue that oh, and then I'll just talk about this right here. He's Terra Steel. Why is he Terra Steel? Fairy types. Do we like them? No, we do not. That and ice types, but your biggest issue is always going to be probably fairy types or steel types, which we will get to a steel type, but right now we have our fairy type. Now this is the definition of a crackhead set. I am running max physical bulk on Flutter Mane. Right now this team is just here to highlight what I had going for me in that tournament. I learned that booster, like in Peoria, I brought, when I went 5-4, I brought Flutter Mane. I brought these four. These four all went to Peoria with me. All of these sets are pretty much unchanged, except for Melina Leteo. I don't know how to pronounce the Spanish name for Flutter Mane. The reason why I haven't named that is because it's my I have a friend from Mexico, because I didn't have Pokemon Scarlet. They did. I wanted it for a tournament, and they're from Mexico, so the Flutter Mane was named this. And honestly, I fell in love with the name, so every time I run Flutter Mane, it's always going to have this name. When I was in Peoria, I ran into the mistake of I had it as Specs. I had it as this exact same defensive look, which I still love. I don't get me wrong, I still love this defensive look, but my big issue was here. It was the choice specs. You get locked into something and then you're stuck. So instead of specs, I've been running just protect over Moonblast. It's a risky play. I only ran it like this so I could have Power Gem for Ogerpon Fire when he was still popular. He's not anymore. And I wouldn't even run it for Incineroar. I mean, at this point, you just want to maximize your fairy damage. But Booster Energy is pretty cool. Just that quick 1.3 boost to whatever stat is the highest. So right now it would be Special Attack, because that little bit over the rest there. Imagine a Special Defense boost. That'd be really weird. But on future sets, I basically have this exact same look. I might switch out Power Gem eventually for Moonblast, just for single target moves, and I don't have to worry about like Wide Guard completely walling my Flutter. Which, will that ever happen? Maybe. It's not common, but it could. And one thing I've also changed is this to Modest, because there have been rolls where I have barely not killed something even after the Booster Energy, and switching it to Modest will get the job done, and you lose 10 in defense, but you're pretty good either way. That 10 in defense is so minimal in the grand scheme of things. Flutter's living stuff at like weird 212, 92, or like 6, I think 68 is a lot more common. It's living stuff there, so it's not the biggest deal changing that to Modest, and I probably should have changed it. Probably could have bailed me out a few times. And yeah, Terra Fairy to maximize damage. And I'm gonna skip to Iron Hands real quick. Yeah, look at me drawing this out, because this is about Iron Treads. I ran Iron Hands with AV. If you run anything other than AV, I think you're insane. He does not have enough special. I mean, 154 HP. If Flutter Mane can make this physical bulk wall work, then of course he can make this work. But you don't want that for him. You want him to be better. You want him to be that wall that he's supposed to be. So you do this, he is virtually unkillable. He is very, I wouldn't even call him that killable now. He just gets walled by a bunch of things. He's usually is the wall, and now he's being walled. So there's no point in running a slow guy that's just going to be whittled down while doing no damage. The reason why I didn't, a lot of people will invest in HP for him, but I figured it's already at 154. Why do I need it to be higher? And That actually worked out really well for me. He lives just about everything. Heavy slam into flutters is way more satisfying than anything you could think of. I don't know, slime. You like slime? I don't know. Slime's stupid. Um, Wild charge is pretty nice. On future, I try to. I'm saying a lot. I try to run Supercell Slam a lot, and where's Supercell Slam? He gets it right. Where's Supercell Slam? Am I going crazy? Where's Supercell Slam? Okay, I'm pretty sure he gets it, but I think the problem here is that this is a Reg E team and it wasn't quite out yet. But it's basically 100 base power, and if it misses or the other person protects or they swap into a ground type, or it's just the move doesn't, if the move doesn't do damage, basically, you take half of your HP. I don't need to say why that's horrible, but with Wild Charge, you only take a quarter of the damage you deal, and then you can get that right back with Drain Punch because he's just kind of crazy. He was really fun. He carried a lot of sets for me, and will I be using him again in this meta? No. I went Terra Water for reasons I don't remember. I think it's just a good defensive typing. Now, you hated seeing Rillaboom, and you didn't really have a safe Terra in front of it, but Stomping Tantrum's not going to be doing that much damage to you, so you'll probably be fine. Um, I think a lot of people run Terra Fire with him too, but Terra Water is just solid. I think I probably would have ran Terra Fairy if I was a bit smarter back in Reg E. Don't do that now. There's a thing called Landorus Eye running around, and he will ruin your day like he ruined mine. Um, and then we have the one and only Iron Tread. The whole reason I say uh, good morning, Iron Tread heads, some mornings. I wake up at 3 sometimes, so I forget to say it. And well, I realize it's PM, and I'm just like, it's not really morning. I don't know what to say. Uh, Good afternoon, uh, balloon. No, I don't like balloons, but Life Orb's pretty cool. This was back when Intimidate was not just around every corner, because you had like Landorus T that had it. You had Hisuian Arcanine that had it. You might see the occasional Gyarados, like maybe you won't. You just won't. But he's pretty cool. Uh, the Life Orb kind of just did there to like maximize damage in quotes. Maximize. You can't see me. I don't know why I'm trying to like overemphasize the quotations of my fingers, but he like I feel like all of these are pretty self-explanatory, right? He lays the boom. Like that's what he does. If he doesn't lay the boom, he kind of dies. Anti-priority sets up Trick Room against fast-paced teams or can imprison Trick Room teams. uh, Tornadus, fast. Fluttermane, bulky, lay out big damage, always survives the hit, puts fear into them. Iron Hand's the bruiser that can keep itself alive by draining the health of others and one-shots flutters, and except for mine, it's a roll. And then we just have Wheelie, the Iron Treads. Now, here's the thing with Wheelie. Wheelie is super cool. This is a crackhead. We have another example of a crackhead stat distribution. But what's so cool about this? He lived a booster energy Fluttermane Moonblast, and he only took like 49%. And I don't know the exact roll for that, but that's pretty good. The only issue is he comes a little short on damage, so he's really there for Chip. Why is he on the team? Well, back in Reg E, Heatran was literally everywhere. If you didn't run Hisuian Arcanine, you were running Heatran. And he was just there for Heatran. He is what carried me through he's what where's the I can't find there's Top Cut bracket. He carried me through these rounds. I did lose here, sadly, but oh my, I just realized I was a 2 seed. That's insane. But yeah, he carried me through these rounds, and the reason why is because they'd always bring Heatran, and I got a hard read one time where I got an iron because like Heatran's always Terra Fairy now because Amoonguss was not very popular. He's making his way back in Reg F now. He's doing pretty good. Rec and Reggie, no, he was good as gone because Hisuian Arcanine was everywhere. He'd just get blown up. He was forced to Terra, quite the Terra hog, and then other things would just slowly kill it like Iron Hands. He's everywhere. Terra Grass Iron Hands messes up Amoonguss. Pair that with a Hisuian Arcanine, you force the Amoonguss to Terra, and he's just being whittled and whittled down. But Heatran was everywhere. And I realized that every single time I was against a Heatran, I had a really bad matchup because Iron Hands, his heavy slam's not doing anything against Heatran. They're both heavy as crap. That's like trying to hit him with like I don't know, like less than a Metal Claw. But the thing with Iron Treads is he has high horsepower. That is, he is so fast right here. This is calc to barely outspeed a max speed, timid nature Heatran. Will you ever run into that? No, I'm paranoid though. I wanted to make sure that no matter what was happening, I was going before that Heatran. Uh, God, I'm saying again. The high horsepower is super cool for that. I was gonna run EQ, but like, look at this lack of protect. Okay, everything else has protect, or it can just. Oh, and look, lack of protect here. And I did lead him off with this a lot. And I'd say for five less accuracy, and five less power, but it's a single target. Don't have to worry about killing my own friendly. That's great. Iron Head was to get the read on Heatran when he Terra Fairy. And it's just good coverage. I can chip a Molina Lateo, uh, and then, or sometimes even kill it if it's really not a bulky one. And it was really nice getting the drop on that. Ice Spinner for like, because like the occasional like flyer, like a just chipping away at a bulky Tornadus. It never killed. He did not get a lot of kills. He just did a lot of chips. And yeah, he just had protect just for the additional move. I could not run him this way. I tried to run him again. I could not run him this way now because of Incineroar running around. Uh, but I did have a clear amulet set around here somewhere. I don't want to show off all my teams right now, but I have a clear amulet set with him, and that was doing okay. And then I eventually kind of replaced him for Scizor. Uh, was Scizor stay on the team? I don't know, but I've been experimenting with so many teams. I don't know what I'm gonna end up bringing to Knoxville, but yeah, his role was really important, and he got me to second, and I eventually got him to. I got him the master rank ribbon in the in-game ladder. So yeah, that's the team. I'll probably specify in the title that this had nothing to do with me playing games with it, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to break down what I did with this team as like almost like a diary type thing. But yeah, uh, see you guys later.